Hello YouTube land, it's Debbie from the Canadian Crocheter. Today is Thursday, November 14th. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Let's just put this mess up because I just came back from walking the dogs and I had to wear a hat. So you can't really wear a hat with a ponytail. But anyway, I hate it in my face and whatnot, right? Anyway, what have I been up to? It's been a little bit of a I'm not sure how long it's been, but I have 2 crochet finished items. I'm always working on something. So I have like 1,000,001 whips, and I have one sewing project that I finished. What did I finish? Okay, so I think the last time I spoke, we were talking about, I mentioned that I was making the Starburst Granny that I used Crystal from Bago Days tutorial for Billie's drive for Boggy Creek, and got into my scraps. I'd used up a lot of scraps, but I had some scraps left, which I don't know how they multiply. Scraps just multiply. I don't, you know, I have so many scraps, and I think I didn't make that many projects to have that many scraps, but I have tons. Anyway, I made this. It's just a little lapgan, and I was gonna donate it, but I really liked how it turned out, so I might, as I mentioned before, we have a fire pit by the back door here, and by the back door I have a basket full of little like lapgan blankets. It's usually the ones that where I'm trying a new stitch or something and I make a small one. But anyway, I was going to donate this one as a wheelchair lapgan because for the seniors' home, but I think I might keep it because it turned out so good. So all I did was I did 1 row of granny, so it kind of looks like little crosses, and then I found I had, it wasn't even a full ball of this Lion brand Pound of Love. Is a number 4, 100% acrylic, and the colorway is, what is the colorway? Pastel green. So, which does not look like pastel green, it's actually like a blue. But anyway, so I made a bunch of these, and then I just did the join as you go method. So I did, like I said, the scraps were the multicolored ones, and then I did a row of the grannies in the blue. Not really. It was the join as you go method. So the join as you go method, there's a couple of videos online or on YouTube, and I used them to create a pattern of my own, which I had not seen anyone else do. And I remember it was a couple of years ago, I mentioned it to Craig from Fire Spider, and then he came up, he used part of my method and his own input, and he made a whole video on it on how to join as you go, and you can use it with any granny square as long as you're doing the granny stitch. I'm not sure if you could do it with solid grannies, but anyway, it's the path that you take to so that you only have 2 ends, the one you started with and the one you ended with. Anyway, I'm babbling too much. I'll leave a link for that video down below. He even gives me a little bit of credit for it, so I'm like so proud. Anyway, I made this. Like I said, it's just a little lapgan and using scraps. And the other thing is, so this is not blocked, and I don't know if you can see. Needs to be blocked, but and it kind of looks puffy. Like each square kind of looks like a little mini pillow, which I don't think I want to block it because I like the little pillow effect. So anyway, I got that done. I know it seems like, you know, it's just a little blanket, but it takes time, right? It all takes time, and I did this in the evenings when just sitting there watching TV. Then the other thing that I crocheted was, I don't know if you remember earlier in the year, I made a plaid blanket for my neighbor's soon-to-be grandchild. Didn't know what the grandchild was at the time. It is a baby boy. I'll show you a picture. I made this plaid blanket, and it was from, who was it from? Hold on, let me see if I can, where did I learn this from? Oh my goodness. It was Knotting Hook Crochet is the video I followed to create that plaid blanket. but I didn't have to watch the video again, but I took that concept and just changed the colors and changed the pattern. So I think her pattern was 6 rows or something like that, or 4 rows or whatever. I just did 4 colors, and this is for me, for when I'm sitting there crocheting on the TV. I don't want anything too big and bulky. I just want my feet covered when it gets cold. So this is it. Oh my god, I love it so much. And I left the fringe. I could have done an envelope border, but I think I like the fringe. I was actually even thinking of taking the fringe and putting it on, because the fringe is only on 2 sides. But I was thinking of actually adding fringe on all 4 sides. So I'm not sure about that, but I love this thing. I'm going to stand up. Oh, it's just big enough to cuddle with, and I love it. Now the yarn that I used was, what did I use? I only see 3 ball bands. Wait, hold on, maybe I'll see. Oh, and I kept it in this little basket I thrifted. Isn't this adorable? It is pristine. See? I kept it in there. So cute. I love it. Okay, so I used, the brown was Craft Smart Value yarn. This is all acrylic, and the color was dark almond. Oh, it's really dark almond. And then I used, what color is this? Clay. And then I used, in the same yarn, mustard. And then the last color I used was actually a Bernat Super Value, and the color is burgundy. That's all I have. And this one, actually, I didn't even have a full skein, and I still have a lot because the color that the burgundy, I only used a little bit of it. So it came out like this. This is wonderful, and I'm not giving it away because this was so much work. Don't get me wrong. The concept, super easy. You make a mesh panel in certain colors, and then when you go to weave, you follow that same pattern of colors the other way across. Easy, super easy, but I'm getting too old. I could not do it on my bed to sit down, so I did it on my dining room table, and my back was killing me because I was hunched over the whole time trying to weave in. Oh my god, it took me days to finish weaving it in. So it's such a simple task, but because I'm older, I'm not in shape like I used to be. And so it hurt. It hurt, and then so I don't have a heating pad. This is so funny. But my car has heated seats. So to ease my back, because it spasmed, I sat in my car and just went for a drive and had the heated seat on, and then after about 30 minutes I felt movable enough again. Weird, right? Anyway, I loved this so much. This was, oh, I just love it, and the colors are just perfect. I've always been a fan of plaid, so this is right up my alley, but I won't be doing it for anybody else because, like I said, the back hurts. And my neighbor was over, and she saw this on my dining room table. She goes, I could do that. I'm like, yeah, I'll crochet you the panel, and you just weave. She backed out, but she's a crafty person, but artistic, like, drawing and painting and stuff like that, and gardening. My god, her gardens are stunning. Anyway, but I was hoping that she would do another one for me and do the weaving in. Anyway, if you want to try it, it's super easy, and maybe you have a better back than I do. Super easy, and you can play with the colors and just, oh, I love it so much. So this is, and look at the fringe. I love it. I love it. So anyway, let me know if you think I should put fringe on all 4 sides or just leave the 2 sides. Anyway, so, and it sat in my basket, my thrifted basket. I love it. And that's all the crochet that I have done. I did put together a little quilted piece. I think I mentioned before, I'm putting together some quilted little mini blankets for donation to, I don't know if I'm going to do it to like a cat or dog sanctuary or a wildlife sanctuary. There's this one wildlife sanctuary that I've been following, and I'm tempted to reach out to them and maybe they could use these. But anyway, so it's just, this is just leftover strips that I pieced together, and then I backed it with, so there was no batting inside, so that I didn't have to do any quilting, because I just bat it with fleece. It's super snuggly, super soft, and yeah. So another one done. It's going to go out of my craft room and to be used. I really want to donate blank crochet blankets because I love making crochet blankets, but the shelters don't want to use like granny square kinds of blankets, and those ones I can do like without even looking. They want solid because the little paws and claws get stuck. So I figured, okay, the quilted ones would do. So I made that. But I have been doing a lot of sewing. I have, I'm going to show you a bin. Hold on. This bin is full of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quilt tops that I created that need to be quilted. Yeah, I seem to be like really keen on making the quilt tops, and then the quilting part I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get to it. And then I think I mentioned before, I'm making a big, well, I don't know how big, but scrappy or crumb quilt for someone, and I've got all the blocks done. Just need to sew it together, quilt it, bind it, etc., etc. Anyway, what I don't know when I'll be back. My birthday is next week, and normally hubby and I have this tradition that we go and visit our friends in another town, and they have a Lens Mills in that town. So my birthday gift from him is he gives me his credit card and lets me loose for a few hours in Lens Mills, see what kind of damage I can do. There's no parameters, so that's good. My mom is here still. I'm busy with her, so she's been there's not much, she doesn't drive, so there's not much for her to do around here, and she's a clean freak. So every morning she asks me to give her a job. There's no more dusting to be done in this house. My bathrooms are gleaming. All of my linen closets are all sorted and stacked. Everything is in order. And so this morning she's like, what kind of job are you going to give me? I'm like, I don't know. She goes, can I clean your cutlery drawers? I'm like, have at her. That's what she's doing now, cleaning out my cutlery drawers. I'm like, okay, this is great. This is absolutely great. But she's bored. So anyway, and so she went on my Amazon account, and she noticed that there was this one item on here that I kept putting in my cart and put save for later, because I didn't want to spend the money. It was like $100. But it is so good, and I've used it, and it is this True Sharp 2. And what it is a rotary blade sharpener. Oh my God. I am not sponsored. I am just telling you, I'm in love with this thing. If you're a sewist and you use a rotary blade, you know how quickly they get dull. And you end up spending money on blades and blades. And then I have a stack of blades, and what do I do? What do I do? I mean, I do have one of these things. So the blade goes in here. So when you're piecing, and then there's string in between, or thread in between, you either cut them with scissors, but this one you put a blade in here, and it sits on your desk, and you just kind of go like this between the pieces. So that's what I use my old blades for. But I mean, there's only so many, you know, blades that this can take. It only takes one blade, but I have so many used blades that what am I going to do with? I don't want to throw them out. So I kept them, and then my mom got me this. This thing is fabulous. It just rejuvenates all the blades, so I don't have to buy new blades. I just reuse them, resharpen them. I don't know how many times you can resharpen a blade, but even twice is better than what I was doing, right? So if you're a sewist or anything, I highly recommend this. But be forewarned, there's only limited quantities, and then quantities, and then they get sold out, and then you gotta wait. And so I had it in my wish list, and she just lucked out. I think there was, when she ordered them, she was telling me there was 3 of them only. So she ordered one. It came right away, so she's gonna give it to me right away. She's not gonna wait till my birthday. So glad, so happy. Anyway, you know what? I'm not affiliated. I don't have an Amazon storefront or anything like that, but I'll leave a link for this. I'll leave a link for the Canadian version. You can take a look at it, and then you can go on Amazon.com if you're not Canadian, and if you're interested. But be forewarned, there's only a few, and they don't come out with them very often. Anyway, that's it. I have lots to do. I've got a tons of projects. Tons of projects. Anyway, I hope everyone is having a wonderful November so far, and we will talk soon.